9397 Network and Hot 9397 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Brought to you by Haylove Saloon, Adam's Apple, Janet'sCloset.com, and Janet'sDungeon.com.
Hi. This we can hear. 3, 2, 1. This has got to be incorporated into the intro for the live stream too. I forgot my glasses. All right, good morning indeed. Happy morning. It is Friday, third day in June. Feels good to be alive this morning, I'll tell you. Too bad everybody doesn't feel that way. Let's get rid of this song before we get rolling this morning, huh? Because it's a little irritating. I am a morning person, but not everybody is. So there we go. Get the music to a low roar. Get the day started off on the right foot. Whoop, don't hit the bell too hard or it won't make the right noise. We got a lot to talk about today. The American relationship. What I want to talk about today, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. There's so many layers to this story. And we're not talking about what's right or wrong. We're not getting into the nuts and bolts of the court battle and all that. I could care less about what happened. It should have been kept between them, a jury and judge, and a couple people that wanted to go in the courtroom. Forget the cameras. We don't need cameras in the courtroom in 2022. It's just bad. It's just bad. We don't need it. We should be done with that. That's my opinion only. Oh, thank you for joining us today on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 9397. Live streaming on all of our social media, including YouTube, including Facebook, 9397 Network on their Facebook, on their YouTube, Sapphire'S Soup du Jour page, Sapphire Pate's page, Twitter. We're on a whole bunch of different pages. I forgot my glasses today. I'm having a good morning other than that, though. That's the worst thing that happens today. Then I'll be doing pretty good. Stu chiming in, saying good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you very much. Everybody enjoying their coffee this morning. If you're not here in America, it's not morning. If you're in France, if you're in Russia, you ain't listening if you're in Russia because you're prick, no good for nothing, scumbag president. Say no more. I'll bet you he's not celebrating Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to everybody. I don't harp on it, but I live with pride all the time. Not always perfect, right? Nothing's always perfect. Pride Month. You got a lot of people that don't understand it, right? That's one part we have to understand. We don't understand other people's lifestyles. If you're not part of the community, if your circle of close friends and family are not part of any community, you're not going to understand it. It's important. We talked about the other day about being at the festivals and dressing properly and how it's a double-edged sword because you should be free to dress how you want, to express yourself. And then you also have to understand that there's people turning on the news on Sunday mornings in June. They don't need to see the butt plugs with the unicorn feather sticking out of it and, things of that nature. right? The butt plugs, the ball gags, and all the things that I joke about. But time and place for everything, and to each their own. But we're talking today acceptance. We're talking today the difference of acceptance and tolerance. There's a friend of mine, a very famous, regionally famous performer, Hershey Chocolate. That's her name. And I give her credit for the teach acceptance over tolerance and learn to know the difference. And that's not verbatim, that's kind of, the gist of it. But it's true. Acceptance is accepting somebody, whether it's the color of their skin, their sexuality, which is none of your business. The color of someone's skin is none of their control. Nobody requisitioned it to be white, black, Asian, whatever. It's not a factor. We make it a factor, right? Now gender's a big issue. I see them talking. They had Caitlyn Jenner on the other day talking about whether or not biological males who transition, even after the year of hormone therapy, should be allowed. Caitlyn Jenner had two different takes on it. She had the take of, if you are a young child and you transition and your parents are accepting and get you the hormonal treatment when it's legally and reasonably possible and go through all the things at a young age, she sees no problem with competing. When it's somebody who is older in life, like Leah Thomas, I hope I pronounced her last name right. I hope I pronounced it right. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to her, but she transitioned later in life, even though still young, obviously, but not as a 9-year-old. And it's very odd. There's more young people that are transgendered than we know. It's a very confusing issue, right? It's confusing for people that live it. So yeah, you got to understand the people that don't live it. It's very confusing. It's very awkward. They stumble on their words, they stare, they look, they question. It's all part of it, right? It's no different than back in the day. If you're in an all-white neighborhood, all-white town, the black guy walks into the bar and the old jukebox stops type thing, right? And it's like, gulp. Or if I, as a transgender woman, walk into a biker bar, gulp. There's a good chance I'm not getting out of there. So acceptance, tolerance, acceptance is you're a human being, you're one of us, we don't care. Don't you make it an issue and we won't make it an issue. Tolerance is, oh, here goes that such and such. Them people, whether it's gay, trans, black, Asian, white, all different, but all the same. But today we start off with some gossip. Love the gossip, but it also leads into our story of the American relationship, to which we're going to be tying in a whole bunch of different things. We're tying in today the relationship of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard with Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson, and Kanye, ye Christian billionaire genius, Kanye West. We're also doing a little fun poll because it's Friday and I want to spin everybody up real bad. Everybody's going to be spun up like a top by the end of this show. Because I got one question that requires one answer. And I say to thee, you don't have to answer, even though you will, and I encourage you to. But you don't have to answer here. You have to answer at the ballot box in 2024. But I say two things. One, I would love to have seen, okay, rewind just a little RCH. Yesterday on my private page, my personal Sapphire'S page, I posted a statement about the Queen and karma. And saying basically that she's not feeling well, and I don't want any ill will toward her, but it's hard to feel bad. She's 96 years old or whatever, so yeah, she's going to have health issues. I don't wish bad upon her. That's not my place. But I'm pissed at her. I've lost any respect due to her, in my opinion, because of the payout. And there was an amazing thing that happened yesterday on Facebook. I made a comment about the Queen. A friend of mine, two friends of mine, both made comments back to me. One of them basically not arguing my point, but expressing his point that contradicted a lot of my stuff. And he was not wrong, and I was not wrong. I was stating my opinion. And he came back with his opinion about the same facts, about Prince Andrew, about the responsibility level. Where does that money go? And what is it actually happening and stuff? Because I look at the money as saying, here, go away, and we're clear now, done, right? Washed hands, gone. And I say, no, the prosecution needs to say, no, no, no. But like my friend had pointed out, we're talking two different things here, criminal case and civil case. My point is we had a long conversation, well, long-winded on each side, a lot of statement. But we had banner back and forth. Nobody got insulted. Nobody was insulting. We had a great conversation. Boom, ding, the way it's supposed to be. God bless America. I say to thee two things. One, if this child trafficking thing, which people have been convicted for, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, convicted child sex traffickers, but the trail stopped there. Since when do we just go after the people that sold the product and not the ones who bought it? Mind blown. We're doing this because it's supposed to piss you off. It's gonna. I know my listeners and I know my friends. I love it, I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm on the edge of my seat with this. If the accusations about Prince Andrew had been paid off by Donald Trump, what would your reaction be? It would be it's a dirty game, it's a dirty foul. This whole thing with the Queen, we just go, well, it's the Queen, it goes under the rug. Not me, she's accountable. You've got a little bit of blood splatter on your hands, Hunty. Just a smidge of blood on your hands. Because what you should be doing is going, no, Andrew, you're not getting my 16 million or whatever. I can look it up. You're not getting my huge amount of money to pay off a civil suit. You figure it out, you loser. But no, we can't say that to royalty. Royalty. So if you're royalty, you're allowed to rape kids and just pay it off to shut everybody up? This is where we're at? Wow, perfect. When I'm rich, I can do whatever the F I want to do and nothing can be done. Oh, okay, perfect. So it's safe to assume then anybody who gets convicted of a crime that's a celebrity, you're out to get them. I don't get it. But you know who's at fault? We are. I'm not going on a tangent yet. So Kim Kardashian, now we're backtrack. Kim Kardashian, right? We know has had the relationship, the marriage, the children with Kanye. Now, how long have they been separated? And at what point of separation, between separation and legal divorce, is it okay for another wiener to be inserted in your cloaca? In her case, vagina. In the tone of Randy from South Park. So Kim, this is gossip. Now it's gossip hour. Kim Kardashian spills it on how she and Pete Davidson got together. Kanye, look, I don't disrespect the man. I don't know the man, right? But I don't have a lot of respect for what he's done. But I also understand the public eye and the way it could be perceived. And I don't know him, so we only get to see the dramatic. He may be a great father. He may be a good friend. I don't know. I'm not judging. He may be a better person than me, believe it or not. But now you go, Kanye's sitting there going, whoa, ain't this a bitch? How in the heck did this take place? He's brokenhearted. And it's sad, but it's 50% of American marriages end in divorce. There's a problem with that, right? Especially when you're standing there till death do us part. And richer sickness and health, richer from poorer. I don't even know if we use those anymore. Be like, yo, we can hang until you make me mad. Kick it, right? Kiss the bride. Let's get out of here. Party time. I don't get it. So if Donald Trump had, okay, we're not done. I messed up. My bad. Kim can wait a minute. If I got two things. Donald Trump, if his money paid for Prince Andrew, would be a different story. You don't have to answer it. I already know, but we can debate it, right? This is not a indictment, or this is not a condoning of Trump, or this is calling out the hypocrisy in our own mind so we can reasonably deal with things instead of getting all hooped up on the triggers, right? It's Pride Month. So if I say the word faggot, it's offensive, but not for me because I'm part of the community. Much like we got these trigger words, the N-word. I can't say it, but we hear it in music. We hear it on TV. Well, I don't know about regular TV, but it's used in the Black culture as a normal word, and it's accepted as we can say it, you can't. Same with the faggot word. I can say it, you can't. Tranny, that's offensive. Transgender, but people call her, she's a tranny. Okay, you don't understand, but that's fine. I am not a transmission, right? Although I don't mind a good four-banger. Even this don't work. It's Friday. Must be a Democrat, huh? No. Oh, I love it. To piss you off real good question, though, before we move on to Kim and these three again. I want to know. And you don't have to answer now, but you're gonna, and I want you to. But the real answer will come privately, where it should, in a ballot box in November of 2024. Based on the current situation, based on the things that were then and the way things are now, in your own mind, you have to decide what was Biden's fault, what's Trump's fault, blah, blah, blah. 2024, if Biden and Trump are both going against each other, and those are the two, you have to pick one. You can't say anybody else. You got to pick one to get out of the room. You dying in the room, picking neither, or who you picking? You don't even have to answer, because if you're going to pick Trump, you're going to get an unpopular response. But who you picking? And I'm going to tell you who I'm picking later. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not picking the other one, even though I'm not happy at all with what's going on in the world. So that's something to look forward to. But you got your own decision to make. But you don't have to make it here. You're not obliged, but you're more than welcome. Chime in. You can let us know. Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. We are live streaming. You can see us and hear us and chime right in with comments. The 9397 Network app. You can go on the social media part of it and chime in. You can chime in on the live feed. There's a lot of ways to join in this conversation. Trump or Biden in 2024, the only two on the ballot. Who you voting for? Actually, no, I'll retract that. Who you voting for, even if it's not him or the other. If it's not Biden, if it's not Trump, who you voting for? We open it up to all of it. That way you got a decision to make. But knowing the implication of the independent vote, right? That was the big thing in 2020. If you don't vote for either, you hurt the chances of Joe Biden winning. That's the way it was viewed. I believe that to be. So you go back to that and you go, well, let's see. If I want my vote if I certainly, like some people were anyone but Trump, then we know they're going to vote Biden. But you've also got the people now that are going to reverse it rather, and go, hey, anyone but Biden. Well, I'll say to you the same thing I'd say to anybody else. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Don't worry about anyone but worry about progress and what can help this country, right? So 2024, Trump or Biden? Chime in. I'll give you my answer later. You'll love it. So Kim Kardashian gets on and starts talking about how she got to know Pete so well. We may now know more than ever, and more than we've ever wanted to know about this. But we love the gossip. If you'll sit there and hang on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, take time off of work or whatever, take time out of your life. Maybe you weren't working. Took time out of your life to go stand there with a sign supporting them. It's weird to me. It's what you would think a small young fan would do. Like the 13-year-old. This is a sad thing for me. The 13-year-old kid-ish outside the Virginia County Courthouse holding a sign of Johnny Depp with her old man standing there, her dad, standing there next to her. Dad brought the 13-year-old-ish to the courthouse to show support to someone accused of physically abusing a woman. What happened to, and we're gonna expose a dangerous double-edged sword here today. What happened to believe the accuser? The victim. There's two different things there, aren't there? The victim is kind of proven to have been assaulted. An accuser accused somebody of doing it. Do we believe the accuser or do we believe the victim? And at what point does the accuser become the victim? Because I sat there and my heart broke for Amber Heard. Not because of what she said, because when I stood there, and I know people say, well, she's an actress. Well, yeah, we all are actors and actresses because you act a fool every Friday night. All right? And it's Friday, baby. So get ready. Get your fool pants on because you're going to act out tonight. I know I am. Now I'm working all day. It's playoff season, baby. All right. So Amber Heard, I felt for her. I really did. On the stand, reliving these things. Maybe she fooled me, but I didn't. But I'm not saying. If I was a jury, I watched about a minute of it from the Inside Edition. Based on what I know, my preconceived notion, it takes two to tango, right? It takes two to fight. One can yell back and forth and blah, 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 but eventually somebody has to remove themselves from the situation. Neither one chose not to. There's a lot of drugs and alcohol involved, a lot of ego involved, a lot of money, a lot of excitement, energy. Can't imagine all the things going on and the excitement and all that. But then the reality of we're really just people. Johnny Depp is just a people, right? He goes poop. He goes pee. He gets a bellyache. His farts smell funny, just like ours. Well, mine don't. Weird how that worked. Now it's like peony soap. I don't get it. Maybe I should stop eating the soap, huh? Oh, there, we touch the bell light, it makes a nice resonating ding. Much like my cloaca. Whatever. I felt bad for Amber Heard, but I feel bad for us. And we're tying this into what the F is wrong with America and the world today. We've got so much violence. We go, the guns. No, it's not the guns. The old Wild West, right? Whatever happened to an armed society is a polite society. Well, that's not the case. Well, we're not all armed. We've got a big, weird thing happening. We're combining all these stories together today, people. So hang on to your freaking hat. Guns are a direct relation, an extension of one's hand, an extension of your emotion, right? Some people never harm a single soul. Now we're to a point where we're now getting people Record sales of guns are every month for the past 34 months. Look it up. Look it up. Check it out real quick. 34 months in a row, America has sold over 1 million guns. Look it up. We love our guns. You're going to try banning them. It's like taking it's like taking Pepsi and Coca-Cola products out of existence. It's like the government coming out and saying, you know what, this is bad for you. Nope. No way. No freaking way. We had guns in the Wild West. We've had guns in the Wild East. We've had guns in the Wild North and in the Wild South. And guess what? We didn't go around doing what we're doing now because we're not getting our way. We've desensitized ourselves to it. One, the more you do think, the hardest kill is the first. After that, it becomes easier. Store managers, people that are managers of people understand this. The best, Stu says, did you know today is National Donut Day? No, I turned in my badge in 2000. 2001, actually. But anyway, thanks for checking in, Stu. So where was I? All right. I want to get right back to my train of thought here. We have people that now we go from record gun sales, so we got a high increase in guns, but we got also a group of people who do not want anything to do with guns now because nothing but bad happens from that. And that's what the bad guys are counting on. The bad people are counting on that, right? There's two trains of thought, and it's hard to say which one is correct because you got to look at this. Schools, for instance. Where are we at? Schools. Gun-free zone, drug-free zone, right? One idea is, see, it's safe. It's a gun-free zone. The other idea is this just lets the bad guys know there's no resistance. There's only one way to end that quandary. Raise your kids not to be murderous buttholes. It's really that simple. It isn't easy, but it's cut and dry. It's black and white. If you raise your kid right, wait a minute, there's something to be said about this. Go back. What do I like to say? Train up a child in the way they will go. Train up a child in the way they will go. That's been written. That was a proverb in the Bible. Doesn't matter your religion. Doesn't that make sense? Raise your kid right is what it's saying. Take some responsibility and teach your child accountability and responsibility. Here's something to consider. Tyler checking in. Good morning. He said there are more guns than people. Rude. True. Very true. Ugly truth. However, again, I know so many people that will never break a law with a gun. Gun control, we're selling record number of guns a month. You got the president standing there with his arms in the air last night. Please, what can we do? He can't solve this. He's not raising your child. I don't know that it'd be a bad thing if he was. I don't have it out for Joe. I can honestly say I would not want Trump raising my kid, but I don't know about Joe. I still got, even though I don't like his politics, I don't trust the shady son of a pup. He's still got that grandpa thing going for me. I want to go sit on his lap, sniff my neck, grandpa. Take me back to the old days. I don't have a problem with guns. I don't have a problem with people carrying them. An armed society is a polite society, but is it? And you got gun-free zones. You can't carry it here. You can't carry it there. And then you got people that don't care about the rules, right? It's just crazy. But now let's go back. It's crazy. Well, let's correlate these things. Where are we at with time? 7:31. Oh, am I going to get there in time? Yep. I'm a professional. the guns and the violence with the guns, and why now so much violence when guns have always been easily accessible, way easier now. No question, easier now. No question in my mind, an assault weapons restriction needs to be in place. No question in my mind at all. But I don't feel that I'm going to get mad at you for saying I'm wrong. I don't care. You got to remember it's freaking America. I'm allowed to have my opinion, and so are you. And if you don't like my opinion, eat it. And if I don't like your opinion, I'll eat it. Who gives a crap? This is why today we're breaking it down. We got to stop being triggered. We got to figure it out. It goes back to our culture. I can say faggot, but I can't say the N-word. They can say the N-word, but they can't say faggot unless you're gay. Then you can say it. It doesn't make sense, Tyler Bell. I'll eat it. Mindy Sue checking in. Also, make sure Saturday, this coming Saturday, they will be live broadcasting from Ferndale, Michigan's LGBT Pride. Tyler, Mindy Sue, 9397 Network, and they've got a whole shebang plan. They got a live DJ with drag show and everything. So it's going to be a extravaganza. Yeah, Mindy, I'm sorry. Let's see. I got to read. This would be this world and society as a whole is a mess. Thank God you always look good, Sapphire. Thank God. Thank you. Do not go to America's Best, Mindy Sue. It'll ruin everything. Thank you for that, Tyler. I'll eat it. I love it. So the gun issue relates to the relationship issue, although they're different. It leads us to the same type thing. And I was watching yesterday about the lady in Utah who killed her kids and went to Hawaii and stuff. She was gone mentally. They knew it. And you got to wonder, was the stuff kind of preventable or not? But there's the court of law with the innocent till proven guilty and everything. I think we've misconstrued a lot of that, along with gun control. I think we're missing the absolute target. And obviously, with millions of guns being sold, 34 million guns plus in 34 months. Because why? Most people want to defend their home. Most people are going, I got to get a gun. It's a crazy world out there. I got a family to protect. I can't go get gas without my pistol on me. First of all, time for us to take back the power. Don't go get gas at night. I don't care if the gas stations have to close at 9 p.m. Let's go back to the old world a little bit, maybe. Maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe there is a little bit of God, your God, whoever you see as God, missing from our schools. Maybe instead of a verbal prayer in school, the kids stand up, say the damn Pledge of Allegiance. If not, at least stand there. If not, conscientiously object. I don't give a crap, but we're playing this every day in our classroom. You don't have to stand. You don't have to recite it, but we are. And we won't look down on you for not. Why? Because this is America. Thank you. But we're not willing to do that anymore. Got to be my way or no way. We got relationship problems that lead to people losing their marbles, literally. We used to call it going postal. And we got a story coming up later about postal workers who went postal in their own little crazy way the other day. But all right, we're going to take a break because I'm tired of rewinding this. We'll be right back. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour. Keep it locked.
On Sapphire's Soup du Jour, only in the morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And we'll stick around though. So, to me, the stories correlate so much, and we're not going to talk about it now because we're going to get back to it when we do talk about it. And if I start talking now, then it'll be redundant, and I won't recite what we're going to talk about. But yeah, this weekend is the first weekend in the LGBT Pride Month. I'm working all day tomorrow. I got a game since playoff time, so But make sure you get out there to see. I'll be sharing the info for the live feed on my page. But better than that, go on the 9397 Network app. It'll be on there. You can see all the upcoming events going on. Go on Ty's Takes, Ty, Ty's Takes. Go on his page and check it out, and you can keep up with all his stuff. More, he's Saturday afternoon show here, but the man's got a lot going on. He even does breaking news in the Detroit city. So a lot happening. Oh, Lordy, it's a beautiful day. I ain't gonna lie, I got to talk to Bob, our co-host, about live stream broadcast from his backyard, floating in the pool like a fool, like I'm Joe Cool, and just chilling, and they glisten when they're wet. I'm loving this. Not a cloud in the sky. I'm busy all day though. I will not be free to do what I want to do until the game's at 5:30, 7:30. I'll be home 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. But I don't have to get up tomorrow morning, so I'll wake up, watch my Saturday morning cartoons, which is Popeye at 7, Tom and Jerry at 8, and you know it, Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour, old school, all Saturday morning on MeTV till 10. And then comes Maverick. Turn the channel. I got a kick out of this Kardashian and Pete Davidson story, but it's sad too. That's why I want to talk about it, because it's like we're going to tie that in with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, but then we talk about all these people that lose their mind. What makes them do it? Loves, one. People kill ex-lovers. Money, main reason. Money, jealousy, love. People mistake it. You can't be jealous to the point of killing when you love somebody. Love means I'm brokenhearted that you want to be without me, but I hope you are happy. I want you to be happy. Oh, I got soup. Oh, yeah, Tyler. Tyler says, where's Pete? He's so dreamy. And Mindy says, Amber Turd. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I'll give you a little peep into it. It's not about Amber and Johnny. It's not even so much about women being like, for Amber saying, I feel bad for all the victimized women. To me, it's about, when do we believe the accuser? You can't just openly believe everyone that comes out and says things, but you can't discount them either. And Johnny Depp, obviously, in the court of public opinion, it was a unanimous decision. But look at the implications of it. None of us would like our whiskey drug-fueled relationship dragged out in public. We've all done things we're not proud of. We've all done things, well, not all, but we've all done things we're not proud of. Some of us have done things we're ashamed of. And others have done things that you could be locked up for, but you weren't caught, or the charges weren't filed, the police weren't called, nobody else heard it. So there's always that. And we forget those things. In a relationship, when 50% of marriages end in divorce, you're already going in kind of like, this ain't going to work out, right? You can think, what's your risk factor? You're like, so important. What does he do for a living? Does he come home angry? Does he come home drunk? Do I catch him in lies? Is there always money missing? Both sides, not just him and her, whatever relationship, same sex, opposite sex. Maybe the girl's the one that's the trouble. Maybe the guy's the one that's the trouble. One thing I believe in life to be true, and we could argue it, if you're good looking and if you got money, or either or, you can do what you want. Pretty much. Harvey Weinstein, woo, rough looking son of a bitch there. Money though, right? Money. So, a little more attractive looking, isn't it? I mean, God rest her soul, but Anna Nicole Smith married that 90-year-old. It wasn't love. No implications, both are garbage. Yeah. And it's sad. We want, Johnny Depp, seeing him laying there in a hotel on the floor in the fetal position, annihilated, daylight, laying there in the fetal position, fully clothed, next to the bed. Not a shining moment in anybody's life. We've all been in those situations before where we go, ooh, let's hope everybody who saw that forgets. But now put it out there for the world to see. My issue, like we got the 13-year-old kid out there with a sign going, Johnny Depp deserves better. He's being accused of, and he never admitted, though. She admitted to hitting him. He never admitted it. Being accused of all these heinous things, if somebody came out right now and accused, Trump accused, who else are we mad at? Of the same thing, we go, no, you got to believe the victim, right? We've got to be careful not to buy into that. We are part of all these problems. We want to blame the gun. Where are we at here? I'm ready to start talking again. I am talking again. I can't shut up. It's your fault. Oh. I'm going to quiet down long enough to take a sip of coffee. Sapphire, am I single? I am for you, Mindy. Nope, I'm a married girl. I've been married since 2010. Yeah, I have a scissor sister. Yeah. Married girl, no ring because it doesn't fit. I keep getting fatter and fatter. Does my shirt make me look fat? Nope, but my belly does. Whoop, I love it. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about the Kardashians or what would it be, the Davidsons. The Davidsons. Whoop, whoop. Oh my God, I can't get over this. I'm loving this weather. Man. There's a restaurant right there. Daily breakfast and lunch specials. It's like a Coney Island. It's called the House of Pancakes. And I walk out of here at 10:10. Shit, that smells so good over there, y'all. That's another thing we're going to talk about today. Food. It's a food and fun Friday. We're figuring out today our favorite. Can I join the live? Let's talk. Yeah, let's do that. Invite. Are we friends? Indy. We're not friends. Send me a friend request, Mindy. I can only message my friends. You've got until 7:55 to get it in. Wow. I type in MIN to send message. Curtis Grant comes up. An old friend passed away a couple years ago from COVID. May he rest in peace. What a beautiful soul he was. Or what a beautiful soul he is. What a beautiful man he was. Yeah. Gone but not forgotten, like so many others. Makes you wonder what our legacy is here. What is our worth? What is our purpose? Do we know? Are we supposed to know? Is it to travel abroad or is it to travel, abroad? Is our purpose in life to go overseas? I got a fascination with going overseas now. Send a message. No. Facebook. One message. Mindy Sue. Need a friend request. We're not friends. How do we friends? We got to become friends. Send me a friend. We'll get Mindy on here. Huh. Oh, let's see here. I can't. We'll get you on there when we can, Mindy. You sent me a friend request. All right. Once I get it, we'll get you on the live feed. We've still got. This is LL Cool J. Mama said knock you out, and then we've got Notorious B.I.G. Big Papa. I love it when you call me Big Mama, Papa. Not seeing Mindy Sue friend request. Okay, so search. I bet you it's not Mindy Sue on here, is it? Mindy Sue. 32 followers. Do you live in Woodhaven? Oh, I don't think that's. Could be. I don't think that's her. Confirm request. There we go. Mindy Sue. Now I've got 4 minutes. All this technology, kick a girl in the ass. All right, now invite. Messenger. I'm going to send you an invite on Messenger, Facebook. Mindy Sue. There we go. And once it's accepted, you'll be on there. And we got 3.5 minutes until we get back into what we've been talking about for the past 15 fucking minutes. I've not had enough coffee yet. Other people are starting to show up for work. Some prick is still out there. We'll talk about it. Everybody likes to get spun up about book banning. We're going to talk about book banning. A Michigan prison is banning Spanish and other non-English. I don't even know about calling it a foreign language anymore. Non-English. Because English is the American language, but America's a melting pot of the world. So yeah, there's going to be different languages spoken. Like my dad used to speak Stroh's. I don't understand it. I never learned the language, but he would always say, Stroh's is spoken here.
Hello?
There we go. Hello, Mindy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Now I got to put my headphones in.
My audio's not so good in here, but Ty's here with me too.
What?
Ty is here with me.
Oh, really?
We literally have not slept.
Oh, my goodness.
So somehow Ty got to be the DJ at Menjo's last night.
Oh, that was last night?
I mean this morning? I don't know because we haven't slept.
At the Eagle or at Menjo's?
At Menjo's. Tonight is the Eagle because apparently also he got hired for us to be DJs at the Eagle tonight. Because he's 24 years old. And I guess that's what 24-year-olds do.
Yeah, they do.
So now I'm in it to win it.
All right. Good deal.
And we saw you this morning because, again, we have not slept. And we were like, hey, Sapphire.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in with us and thanks for joining us.
You know, I have to tell you, so I wake up in the morning. I homeschool both my kids because I'm an idiot. And so I wake up in the morning and you're like the first thing that I do. It's my like 5 minutes of peace before I have to deal with the little children's.
Thank you. I'm your 5 minutes of peace. Woo.
You are my 5 minutes of peace in the morning.
Rough life. 1 minute. Bob will be joining us in a little bit as well.
Yeah, Ty just said, where's Bob?
Yeah, no, it's usually around 8:15, 8:30 where he gets into the show.
Sapphire, I have to ask you, how are you celebrating Pride?
By working.
Just working.
My life celebrating Pride. I don't know what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you.
Are you going to come see us at the Elks?
Tomorrow? Tomorrow is Ferndale, right?
Yes.
I'm working 3:30 to 5:30. I won't be available until I got to film a game, so I won't be available until about 7:30 tomorrow night.
Well, we owe you drinks at 7:30.
I mean, it's a possibility. All right, here we go. Baby.
So, Sapphire, I have to let you go because Ty has to work and I have to sleep. But it was very nice talking to you.
Yeah, good chatting with you.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.
All right, we are back on a Friday morning. Got a lot going on. Got Greg checking in. Just had Mindy checking in with us for a few moments there on the break. Greg checking in saying good morning. We have a lot of conversation happening today that all ties in together. Not ties takes in together, ties together, you know. Relationships. Now it's time to get down to it. Kim Kardashian, now with Pete, and she's spilling her guts a little bit the latest episode of The Kardashians, she shared that she made the first move on Saturday Night Live. It was after they appeared in a skit together when she hosted last October. Kanye's going, what, October? Wait, what, October? Woo, girl. So this is how it went down, she says. I did SNL, and then we kissed in the scene. It was just a vibe. She felt it. When Davidson did not attend the after party, she decided to pursue him. She wanted a little bit of that Davidson sausage, is what it is. She figured this little skinny runt, look at what he's packing. She called the producer at Saturday Night Live and said, hey, do you have Pete's number? And they said, yeah. I'll text him. She wasn't even thinking, she said, I wasn't even thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to be in a relationship with him. So these are confirming any questions you might have, right? When you say, oh my God, I'm going to be in a relationship with him, I wasn't thinking that. You're in a relationship with him now. Kanye's at home going, ain't this a bitch? I'm a genius Christian billionaire. And you picked him? Damn. To keep it family friendly, let's just say Kim was looking for a little physicality. Yeah, we'll just keep it at that. Let's see. Well, don't you know it? They didn't put them in there. Of all the effects I've got, starts to come and pulls out was one they didn't put in. Ain't that a bitch? Oh, well, I could find it, but I'm not gonna. Grego says, relationships, been there, done that. Enough is enough, LOL. Yeah, but again, see, that's indicative of the human psyche, though. Greg said, relationships, been there, done that. Enough is enough. That is not what we aspire for. Like the homeless person who just wants to be invisible. That's not normal. We are damaged goods because of past relationships to the point, like Greg says, oh no, been there, done that, I'm good. I would rather suffer a toothpick in the eye. There's a reason why. It's damage that we've been through. It's normal. It's not normal, it's normal, if that makes sense. It happens to everyone, which makes it normal, but just because it happens to everyone doesn't mean it should be normal. Does that make sense? Because normal is being used too many times for a different kind of word, or a different meaning, rather. All right, so he doesn't attend. She texts him. And all she was looking for was little sausage, little extra fun. Now Kanye is going, bitch, put me on blast. Well, this wouldn't work. I got one too, huh? Well, possession's 9/10 of the law, but it doesn't do you any good when she don't want it in her. Well, she ends up falling for Pete. I think, see, Ty, that's where we getting it messed up. This is where there's a disconnect. He likes her instead. She falls for him. She says she enjoys doing the simple things with him, like going to the gym and watching television. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you just like to do what normal people do? Well, that would mean you're kind of just a normal people too. Hey, there's an epiphany. Or as a guitar player says, an epiphone. but not a real guitar player, they'd say Gibson. Lester Paulfus. You know, Les Paul. She says, I like doing the simple things. Kim Kardashian, the super gorgeous body, beauty from head to toe, elegance, intelligence, more than people know. I gained respect for her when she damn near aced the bar exam in California. Not passing it, acing it. Maybe it wasn't her first time. What does that mean? It means her dedication, stick to it. And that's the kind of lawyer you want. Oh, failure. Failure is when you give up. Not passing the first time is lesson hard learned and greater gratification and appreciation for what I've earned, not been given. Earning something is way better. The only way I will believe somebody loves me is if they are filthy rich and knows where I stand in my life. Then I will believe. That's from Greg on our social media. The live stream broadcast allows us to participate in the conversation together. So if you're listening and want to chime in, one thing I said earlier, one easy thing. 2024 ballot, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Who you voting for? Would love to see. I know most people's opinion. I think most would agree. But also, we can debate the issues too, right? We're not gonna, no way. But we could. Why is gas prices so high? I put gas in my car today, $5 plus a gallon for regular. What did I do? I paid it. I didn't cry about it on Facebook. I didn't blame nobody. I know who's to blame. We're not blaming them, right? But don't get upset. We're not blaming the people that actually did the raping when the kids were sex trafficked to them. We're settling civil courts, civil cases with millions of dollars. It's called hush money. We're doing things like that. And where are we at? Just making sure we got everything rolling here. I got a lot going on in the morning here by myself. So she falls for him. Pete, she said, Kim Kardashian says, Pete has got to be literally the best human being I've ever met. Like the best heart. I've never seen any of Pete Davidson's skits on Saturday Night Live. I have no idea of anything. All I know is he's a comedian. That's it. Don't know if he's funny because it depends on who you ask, right? For someone to say the best human being ever, there's a little dagger going into Kanye every time she's doing this, right? You almost we're conditioned to compare. Well, if Kanye had been this way, maybe Kanye was a great guy too. Maybe we don't know what's going on. But we speculate. We do what? We pick sides. There's going to be people that go, oh no, Kanye's crazy. They're going to be like, oh no, she's a not a gold digger, but what would you call it? I don't even know. People don't like her because she's beautiful and almost flawless, almost like a Barbie doll. And people get mad. Hate. Haters gonna hate. She knows that. Now let's look at the relationship part. The relationship with Kanye fails. The celebrity brings us, me, us, everyone. It's on CNN's page is where I found the information I'm reading. It's being talked about because of their celebrity. But we're disregarding the relationship part, nurturing a relationship. What about Pete Davidson's parents? Don't you think they hope he finds himself the right person, whether boy or girl? But in this case, he seems to be straight. We got to clarify nowadays. Find the right woman and settle down and have kids. And she's going, that's what we want, right? but only if you're not a star, right? So Kim, we're a little taken back by the fact that she just wants to sit and watch TV, eat popcorn, and enjoy a night just like we do when we get out of work. So we're like stars. Or wait, the stars are like normal people. Wait, we're all kind of alike. The only thing that separates us is the classifications we bestow upon ourselves, right? Now, money separates us. If you've got a lot of money, you live in an area that is usually more wealthy. When you don't have a lot of money, you live in a place that you can afford. Both places raise great families. Both places raise horrible kids. Both places raise great kids. How many stories of triumph, especially in sports, come from, I used a sock as a baseball glove. Now I'm a 3-time All-Star Gold Glove winner and everybody loves me. How many stories we got of that? Plenty. How many stories we got where the same kid gets wrapped up in the wrong thing, gets arrested, gets in the system, next thing you know, sitting in prison, talking about coulda, woulda, shoulda. Didn't. The movie Trading Places comes to mind. It could be you on either end of the gamut. But we don't think of those things that deep. Relationships, in my opinion, hold a big answer to a lot of our problems with violence. We've always had guns. We've always had, I hate to break it to you, guns, although very, very, very easily accessible now, that was 3 varies, they've always been very accessible. And very accessible is just a little less dangerous than very, very, very. So we've made society less safe, not guns, okay? Arguably, I'm giving you my opinion. Feel free to chime in the comment section. I've been reading comments from other people all morning long. Gun control? Yeah, we need a more level. I retracted my statement last week about that. There is one more thing at least that can be done. Age restriction. If you can't buy a beer at 21, we got that old cliche. You can serve your country, but you can't drink beer. That's bull crap. Okay, fine. Well, if you can't buy beer, you can't buy a gun. If you're so dangerous to society with a beer in your hand, because you might get behind the wheel of a car and you might hit somebody and you might kill them, there's 3 or 4 or 5 levels of protection there naturally given to a victim. With a gun, there's no level of protection. The gun is designed to kill people and to destroy things. A car is designed to get you from point A to point B, mostly, and then for other reasons as well, for different variable reasons. But the main goal is not to destroy and kill. A gun is one reason. You don't get a gun for any other reason than to kill and destroy, including, this is important, please listen, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to keep you out of prison. A gun is designed to kill, not protect property. If you walk outside because someone's stealing your car and you go, bitch, not today, you picked the wrong one. Nope, you did. You can't leave your house with the gun hoping to scare someone away, because guess what? I just told you, man. We've sold 34 million guns plus in the last 34 months in this country. You're going to walk out of your house thinking you're going to scare somebody with a gun, and they pull a gun, and you shoot them, and you claim self-defense, and then you're freaking shocked when they go, but it's not self-defense. You left your home of safety to confront them. You're now confronting somebody without a gun and a badge, without a badge. Now they can claim, hey, I'm trying to defend myself. Now we've got a shootout at the OK Corral, but it's not OK and it's not a corral. It's in a neighborhood. And then we got the news out there the next day going, 4-year-old shot in their bed. This is ridiculous. What are we going to do? And we go, we don't care. It's just a kid. We only care when it's in the fetus. And then we only care when it comes to the ballot box. If it's a mass shooting, it's a school shooting. If it's a police shooting, an ethnic group, that's a different story. But inner city killings, we don't care. Oh, well, just saying. It boils down to what I always say, relationships, but also we mistake emotion for a different emotion, especially heartbreak and hurt for rage and anger, because we're not prepared to deal with an ass kicking life's going to give you. Part of that's homeschooling. My opinion is homeschooling is bad. But let me say this without any hesitation. In 2022, today, if my kids were young, they would be homeschooled. Point blank period. Y'all got it all wrong. My kid don't need to know about any of these social issues that you're trying to sway them to. Trying to make them feel like there's a certain thing. They want to go play ball. They want to go do whatever it is little kids do. We're bestowing upon them all these things that they don't need to know about. Like, kids pick their nose and eat it and don't think twice about it. And we're trying to teach them, well, you know, this gender and that gender and what? They don't give a crap. If they care, they'll ask. That's like, I'm not even a psychologist, but kids will ask the questions they want answers to. You just got to pay attention, mom and dad. You just got to pay attention. They ask, but we do the typical parent bucket list, right? We sit down for dinner. So, Johnny, you have any homework? How was school today? How was math? Who cares? I'm 6. I don't care about math. Math is stupid. English is more stupider. They don't care. So you go, what'd you guys do at recess? Did you play baseball? What did I like to do? No, well, you love baseball. Why didn't you get to play? Well, Pete and John were picking on me, so I didn't go over there. They never let me play. We're getting somewhere. How was your day? It was okay. But now we're talking real life stuff. Now it's not an interview. Mom and dad asking the kid about school. No, we're talking. Now we just found out you're being bullied. Now we just found out because you won't go do what you love to do the most. You sat there and brought your ball glove and your baseball. You rubber banded it. You put the saddle soap on it. You got it sitting there all night. You're dreaming about playing bottom of the ninth, home run. But now you won't play ball? Oh, Pete and Johnny. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Pay attention, people. Your kids are telling you everything you need to know. In Oxford, Michigan, he wrote it in big capital letters on the paper. It said, help, right with the gun and the blood and the kids laying in the hallway. But we didn't see that. Wait a minute, we did see it. An adult administrator at the school took a picture of it because it was disturbing enough. The same day, hours before, he killed kids. We see it. We don't want to do nothing about it. We get President Biden in there going, what are we going to do? We got to get this. And I am not dogging him. It is our problem, not his. But what are we going to do? Well, let's look to relationships. I did it today. I'm talking about Kim Kardashian. Everybody listening, we're dogging just by talking about Pete and Kim, we're dogging Kanye. Right? Making him look bad, right? Like, she's out there looking for Richard, right? We know what Richard is. Richard's short for Dick. I mean, Dick's short for Richard. Richard has a short dick. I don't know. I don't know. I get it all screwed up. relationships, 50% of them end in divorce. No, marriages in America. That's a problem. The anger, the not being able to solve problems. We stood there, looked them in the eye, and promised our love and dedication and devotion till death do us part, richer for poorer. We're in this together. And we're backing down from it. Why? We all have legitimate reasons, but it's showing our lack of being able to deal with social things, right? If you homeschool your kid, say you have 5 kids, that's social interaction, right? There's 5 kids socially interacting all day long, right? And then with Xbox and PlayStation and all the other Zoom and all this, they're fine. However, when you're in a setting of a controlled environment, a brother and sister can say things to one another that other people can't say. So now when the brother is used to getting his way and saying what he wants to say, and he goes out in the world and gets his ass handed to him, he's in shock. What the hell just happened? Somebody goes, you can't talk to me like that. But I always talk to, no, you talk to a controlled environment like that. The world's a whole different place. We see it on social media, keyboard warriors. The whole world's a different place when you start speaking your mind in front of somebody's face. When they go, really? Keep talking, right? It's a different story. We're not teaching our kids that. We're not talking about, well, I got to teach my kid to defend himself against stuff. No, we got to teach our kids that you don't have to defend yourself. We got to teach our kids you shouldn't have to. But we don't. Where are we at? Oh, it's the weekend. All right. Still the weekend. Glad for that. Got big plans? So talking about Kim and Pete, we do it because they're celebrities, right? Kanye's sitting there brokenhearted. Maybe he deserves it. Maybe he don't. Maybe he wasn't a good husband. It makes you wonder. She was looking for some Richard in October. It's sad. It's sad. Just like for Amber Heard. It's sad for her. It's sad for Johnny. It's sad that they were in a relationship like that when they got all the money, all the things we think that would make you so happy. Can you imagine living the life they live? No, we can't. They make more money than we could ever imagine. They do more things than we could ever dream of. You work all year so you can take your kids, or you work all year so you can take 3 golf trips and your kids can go do this, that, and the other. They spend that money on a rental for a weekend. And they don't think twice. I'm not hating them. It's a different life. You would think there would be nothing to want to get blackout drunk over, right? You go, oh man, if I had that money, I would. But they're human, right? So Jesus turned water into frickin' wine, man. Alcohol is part of our life. Now marijuana is part of your life in a lot of states. Now they're decriminalizing cocaine and methamphetamines. We talked about it. 2.5 grams combined. You can have a gram of coke, a gram of meth. You could be half a gram of this. You're good to go. We've always wanted to alter our being in more ways than one. How many fake blondes we got running around there? Oh, look, we got Bob coming in. Hello.
I don't know. How many fake blinds do we have running around here?
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Sitting here running my gums 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. How many more fake blinds do we have running around here?
I can't say the carpet matches the drapes because I have a waxed floor.
I see. Well,
but the deck don't rot, if you know what I mean.
Well, and that's a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm. You got to wear bowling shoes. So, yeah, we're sitting here talking about all the things about relationships, and we're tying it into the world problems. We're tying it all together today.
Yep.
And we, like I talked about today, it's Pride Month, right? Mm-hmm. I can say faggot, but a straight person can't. A black person can say the N-word, but white people can't. We pick and choose elements of society that's acceptable for some and not others.
Right.
And words don't matter to me. I don't care if you say the N-word in a song or not. I'm not going to say the word.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of a normal vocabulary. And if it was, it's not anymore. And if it is still part of your vocabulary, you better be black.
I was going to say it's a problem.
Yeah. But we're talking about relationships and how we relish in the stuff. And the words don't seem to be much of anything, right? And we go, well, you can't say this, you can say this and everything. But it does matter. It leads into a degradation of our society, even a small part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all it takes is one altercation to then the ripple effect.
Sure.
And it turns into a bigger thing than we ever expected, unknowing to some people.
Right.
You know.
No, you're very right. It's amazing what, one seemingly little thing can do to snowball into
that's
something.
What Joe Bob has said, or whatever his name was.
Well, when faced with a challenge, rise up,
Oh, dang. That's Lorena Bobbitt, beg to differ. Yeah, but we got a problem. And I feel like we're addressing it all wrong. And there's something we got to remember. Politics. We don't argue about politics. We argue about social issues that politicians use to tell you where they stand on issues, right? So with abortion, with crime, with all these things, gas prices. I paid over $5 a gallon for gas today. Mm-hmm. For all these issues, these are issues that have to deal with us.
Well,
now
everyone. Yeah, everyone, not just a specific individual or group. Yeah.
Yeah. And the issue with gas, that politicians can do stuff about, but what can't they do? That's arguable too, right? You got record profits for gas companies and oil companies, yet gas keeps going up. It's almost like they're going, hey, we'll keep doing it until they stop going to the pumps.
As long as they keep paying their tax money back to Uncle Sam, right?
Yeah.
And their profits.
I mean, but we complain, but we do nothing, and then we target the wrong things to complain about. The power comes back to us. Abortion, we decide. We, the people, decide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very funny thing right now. The social issue is political in a sense that we have to vote for the people that are going to represent our ideology,
mm-hmm.
right? So the Republicans for abortion, they're going, hey, we're really relying on the anti-abortion vote. And the Democratic side's really relying on the pro-choice vote. It's simple, Simon. But the issue itself is a social issue.
Right.
Do we in America want to make it a black market industry? To put the health of living women at risk, to compromise the ability for them to choose? Do we really want to do that? And do we have the right to do that? Why don't we educate our young men and women, both, to not get pregnant unless you want a kid? How about that? How about some moral values?
Mm-hmm. Well, we used to have them, it seems.
We used to.
At least somewhat. People have decided that they're inconvenient. People have decided that it doesn't apply to them. People have, it's something good that used to be that definitely would be helpful to bring back, but now everybody defines their morals in a different way. So they have moral standards. It's just not the way everyone else sees them.
Correct. It's funny too, because the other day I'm filming a game for two very prominent Catholic schools. They pray before the games.
Mm-hmm.
They say the Our Father before the games. And the other videographer's sitting there and he goes, hey, we weren't live streaming the game. We were live streaming to the field for the coaches to be able to see the game going on. And then they can hit replay and they can look back at a play or whatever. So they can coach in real time with what's going on down there. But it's not streamed out on YouTube or anything like that.
Right.
So I'm sitting there videoing, and in between breaks when they blow the whistle, the videographer next to me goes, hey, they think we're live streaming. He goes, somebody's live streaming. He goes, I told him it ain't us. But I have the live streaming kit for the end zone for
Right.
the field. And I looked over to him and I go, these are two Christian schools. I go, you really think they're going to lie, cheat, and steal to win a game? I go, it'd be kind of like compromising three of the main things. Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not cheat, and thou shalt not steal.
Right.
I said, I really doubt they're doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would hope not. It's possible.
Anything's possible anymore. That's
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, we're at a high, and there was no indication anybody was doing anything like that, but somebody might have been. Who knows?
right. Right.
But it wasn't us. And the only way the team that I'm working for could have been doing it is if I didn't know about it. They could be live streaming. I have no idea. I'm just operating the camera. I got their equipment plugged into it, but they told me it was going to the field.
Right.
Well, there would be the lie, and then you'd be cheating, and you'd be stealing a victory. So, yeah, I don't think a Catholic school is going to do that. I would hope not.
No, I think they have bigger fish to fry. Doesn't seem like something that anybody would be focusing on, especially.
Whoop, that one. Oh, it was the wrong effect. Oops.
Oops.
It happens. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Where are we at here? We are 8:30. Oh, 8:29, actually, Eastern time. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to be talking a little bit more about relationships. But how do we fix this? And I'm going to relate it to guns. And I'm going to present the same question to you, Bob, that I did everybody else.
Okay.
I'm answering later. You got 2024 election coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You got Joe Biden and Donald Trump on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
You got to vote for one. Who you voting for? We're going to talk about that later.
Aren't you special?
I'll give my answer later as to why.
Uh-huh.
And why I don't want one and why, well, we're going to talk about it later.
Yep.
So we're not going to.
Oh, it'll be an interesting conversation, yeah.
Oh, it will be. All right, we're going to go to break. Make sure you get your typing fingers ready for coming up because we're going to be talking about all these fun things right here. Also, we're going to be talking about some pricks still out there. Coming up on Sapphire's Soup du Jour. Keep it locked. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to break this time. I didn't go to break last time. The coffee's making its way through. I got to go pee.
It's about that time.
We come back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We come back at 8:52.
Okay. Excellent.
8:52. We'll be back.
All right.
Welcome to Adam's Apple, your neighborhood LGBT bar serving all your favorite drinks. With friendly and knowledgeable bartenders that keep the party going and make sure your needs are met.
It's the cheers of the game bar. Your bartenders know who's coming in, where they're going to sit, how long they're going to be.
Kick back and enjoy some fresh air on their large enclosed heated patio. Open year-round with music and weekly barbecues. Karaoke every Thursday night where you're the star. And Mexican Fiesta on the last Monday of every month. Located at 18931 West Warren, Detroit, Adam's Apple. 9397 Network and Hot 9397 presents Sapphire's Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. The Jay the Great Show, starring Jay the Great. The Honest Truth Show, starring 2K Bentley. The Good Times Show, starring Princess of All and Cujo Speaks. Ty's Take Today every Saturday afternoon. Marcus Divine every Saturday. The legendary House of Shade, Talk to Me Pretty. Check out the U-Store and be the first to own the newest music. Hot 93.97 and the 93.97 Network. Download the 93.97 Network app today.
Not sure where Bob ended up, but he's gone. Well, we're back, Jack. All right, we are back. It is Friday morning. Glad for that. Getting everybody all fired up, using them trigger words like Trump. Can't play cards at the bar without going, "What's Trump?" And someone's got to chime in with their own little clever statement. Today, as Stu pointed out, National Donut Day. Yesterday was a very special day, though. Yesterday was National Bubba Day. My flapjack gravy train Pates, one of my dogs, nicknamed Bubba. And yesterday, I did not know that yesterday, we miss all the good national days. They always fall on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. But yesterday was National Bubba Day, which is basically, they believe the word may have been derived from the attempt for children to say brother. But a bubba is usually an affectionate term for an animal, right? Your dog, right? Bubba. But I got my little Bubba, Flapjack Gravy Train, who changed everything for me. Changed the way I feel about pets. Not animals, because I like animals, but the way I feel about pets. Used to be indifferent. You know, having a dog, we always had a dog. We had a St. Bernard, we had a pit bull, we had a boxer mix back in the day. We've had animals and they've been fine. It's been great, whatever. But something happened when I met Flapjack. And I said the story before and I'll say it again. We met him in a rescue. It was at a local pet shop that was having the rescue there. And we go in there. There's Bob.
Here.
Hello. We go in there and we see the first, they knew we were coming. The first dog they show me and they go, "Oh, look, you're going to take this little guy home." And I go, "I don't want to have to take him home. Like, there's other dogs too." But I started bonding with them. I took him for a walk around the store. And before you knew it, we were both in love.
Mm-hmm.
So we took him home. Well, in fact, that day I said, "I want him." And they said, "Well, there is another couple that's interested. But if you don't want them, then, you know," but we had first dibs. I said, "I'll give you the money right now. I want them." So I got them.
Very good.
And it was the best thing. I'm sure any dog I took home that day would have done the same thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But just something about him. And when I get home, he'll come to greet me at the door. And he's a big chewer. He chews on my thumb. I'll give him my pinky finger. No, the thumb is what leads the way. So he takes my thumb. I let him. I know it's wrong. Let him chew. I don't care. He needs to be made comfortable. He had a miserable early life. So he comes home. I come home. He greets me. I go put my stuff away. I come back in the living room. He's laying right where I lay on the Chase Lounge, waiting for me. It makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on these rescue pages now, and it breaks my heart to see all these dogs and cats suffering, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always looking at the pages, and I go, I don't know how these volunteers can do this. And they're special people.
Well, especially like fostering an animal has got to be really hard because you're more than just keeping them overnight for somebody who's out of town or something like that. I mean, you're keeping them for weeks, if not months, for whatever the situation is, if it's a health thing or whatever. And then you're still, the ultimate goal is to place them somewhere in a home. and to let them go. But if you foster a dog or a cat, I think you become attached to them, and then it's got to be hard to let go. And I wonder how many fosters actually become, that's where just they become their home. They become adopted right there because
the foster fail, the beautiful thing.
Yep.
That would be me. If that would be my legacy, I would love to leave behind if I ever had the money. I'm weak. I can't bring myself to volunteer at the shelter because I couldn't imagine seeing all the dogs crying and wanting to come out. And and I know it's a special breed of people, but if I had the money to do it, I would make it so that it wasn't a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
I would make a complex that was like homes.
I would say more of a playground and a
And the homeless people would live there to take care of the dogs. It would be a win-win for humans and animals. And they wouldn't be locked up in cages at night. They'd be laying over couches and beds, and it wouldn't be, not all of them. Some would have to be locked up for safety and for their own safety or whatever. But it would be, they would live the life of having a home, even if not. It'd be like a prison, you're in jail cell because you did wrong. In a shelter, you're in a prison because someone else did you wrong.
Right.
Imagine that. What a slap in the balls that is.
Yeah, that's actually a very good idea. The homeless being able to stay there and take care of the animals that are trying to be adopted.
Yeah.
And
in homes, not in a big building where it's all cold and nasty. No.
Right.
There's a TV on at night. You're living your life. The dogs can get up and go pee outside. They can play. They can eat. They don't have to be in a cage. They can have interaction. A normal life for people and dogs and cats. Hell, and raccoons, huh?
They'll find their place in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, rescue a possum, we'll take them. Teach them to bark.
That's right. Bow, wow, wow.
Yippee-yi, yippee-yay. Isn't that how that song goes?
Atomic Dog.
Kuna, Faili, Kiwenyi, Kikai.
I beg your pardon.
You can beg all you want.
I'm begging.
We love to get all worked up about book bans, don't we?
Yeah.
Michigan prisons ban Spanish and Swahili dictionaries to prevent inmate disruptions.
What?
Mm-hmm. Interesting story. Officials in prison systems across the United States have banned certain books as a way to prevent the flow of material that might incite violence. In Michigan, the ban extended to several non-English language dictionaries. Interesting indeed. Over the last year, the Michigan Department of Corrections has banned dictionaries in Spanish and Swahili under claims that books' contents are a threat to the penitentiary itself.
I suppose because, we're educating people on words?
Mm-hmm. If certain prisoners all decided to learn a very obscure language, they would be able to speak freely in front of staff and others about introducing contraband or assaulting staff or other prisoners.
Yeah, true.
Allowing prisoners to gain access to language books other than English could encourage them to organize with no knowledge of the staff. So some would say, so you want to lower the bar, prevent us from learning a new language and enhancing our knowledge in life.
Right.
So that you don't have to learn something. Then you should learn the languages.
Well, I was going to say, then what's open to one is open to all. So
two trains of thought.
Yeah, it is.
Two different ways to look at it.
It is. And they both have a valid point. I mean,
Yeah. He says when it's a language we don't have the ability to read ourselves and understand exactly what they're looking for, we're not able to allow it.
Well, we now have language translator apps on our phone where you can type in the English word or the German word or the French word or whatever it is, and it converts it over to English so you understand it, which is kind of a cool, casual way to learn a foreign language, actually.
Like Babbel.
Yeah, like Babbel. Maybe it's slow motion Babbel because Babbel actually like makes you do it structured, which is kind of what most of us need. But you could just pick the word of the day and throw it into the translator and say, "How do you say that in Portuguese?" And
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because you got people that want to learn another language
mm-hmm.
and they're not allowed. Very interesting. I
Yeah.
understand. And then, but also to me, they're in prison. They've been convicted of a crime. There is a loss of some civil rights.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got human rights all day long, but you don't have civil rights all. You don't have all your civil rights when you break the law. So there's that too, to go, well, you know, if you didn't go murdering 3 people in a party store robbery, you wouldn't be sitting in prison. So it's hard to feel bad for them. But at
Right.
what point do we say it's for safety dangerous?
Right. No, I mean it's understandable. It's got merit, and likewise, so does the other. I guess maybe there has to be a menu of approved languages that they can learn during their incarceration time. You can pick from Spanish, French, various nationalities, various parts of the globe, but it can be almost like school or something where you have, you know, X number of opportunities to pick from, and you still learn something, you're still benefiting from it. And if you pick something, like if you're an English speaking person who knows no Spanish, that's probably one of the best things you could do educationally, is to learn
Spanish
Spanish.
is the second largest spoken language in America.
Right. Well, and you've got companies and agencies now and all that kind of stuff where they're asking for, they're part of the job requirement is that you're bilingual and that you can
Yeah.
speak Spanish and English.
Bilingual. Got
Yeah,
me.
bilingual, we said. You have to be
Well,
a bilinguist,
when you call a lot of places, you have to hit 1 for English and 2 for Spanish.
right?
I don't have a problem with that because we're a melting pot. It's different now. It's supposed to be. That's the way it is.
And I don't have a problem with it either, with the only exception being that you have to have a default standard. And the country was built on English as the, quote, official language. Something that everybody needs to communicate with everybody. Now, if you want to speak 5 other languages, it's a free country, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But when push comes to shove, when laws are written and things like that, it has to be in the official language as defined. So maybe
What
someday
about
that
the
changes. I'm
ballot
not saying
in
that
Dearborn, Michigan? What
Yeah.
about the ballot for Dearborn, Michigan, where they have it in Arabic now?
Right.
You okay with that?
Well, you can have both. You have the official language of the country. You're having a federal election. Everybody needs to have that same playing field. But if you add to the ballot right underneath it the translation in Arabic,
Amen.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I agree. Make sure they can read. The importance is not whether you can read and speak English. It's whether you feel that you're an American.
Mm-hmm.
And voting is very American. You don't
Right.
vote in a lot of other countries. And if you do, you're not voting like we vote all the time on a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, there should absolutely be language that every citizen can understand, but at the same time, there has to be a single standard that, at the end of the process, this is what it becomes and falls back to. Otherwise, you've just got chaos and you've got nothing to define anything. I mean, there has to be something.
In 1989, the Supreme Court ruling allowed prisons to ban any book as long as it's in the interest of safety.
As determined by who?
Correct.
Now we get into that app. It's like,
yeah. It's dangerous for the swamp for someone to want to drain it, no matter whether that had been politics or anything.
Sure.
So the good deal will remain. It's a mafia mentality.
Yeah.
We're going to get our way one way or the other. And too bad if you don't like it.
That's right.
I just find it interesting, but I agree that certain things, I don't know, it's a fine line between educating yourself and educating yourself for bad gain. So,
right.
Oops, let me change the banner here.
You do have to, again, there's intention and purpose and situations, although, again, I still think that there should be very little restriction on what someone's allowed to read, because, again, it comes down to how they act.
Well, they've already acted a fool because they're in prison.
Right, but that's what I mean. So now if you're going to read something and act a fool again, well, then you can stay there longer.
How to escape from prison, or prison escape for dummies, is not going to be in the prison library.
Right.
Of course it might be. Who knows? In the world today, who knows? But you do. I mean, that's why it's so important to not make mistakes. Once you're in the system, you're in the system. I don't feel bad for you. There are people that are in the system that shouldn't be. That's a different story. We're talking about people convicted for crimes they committed. I don't feel bad for you. However, we need to teach our kids these criminal records and such matter later in life. Right. At 14 years old, you get caught stealing and it goes on your record at a local grocery store. You can never work for the FBI. You'll fail the lie detector test. If you ever took drugs in your life, you'll fail the lie detector test and you cannot work for the FBI. It matters what you do. And we've got to teach our kids this, and we're not. Why do you think relationships are failing? It's been that way for a long time. And we're not teaching our kids to do better. We're not teaching ourselves to do better. Look at our technology. I said it last week. Thomas Edison, Ben Franklin, all these people that invented all these cool things, Carnegie, Rockefeller, that built all these things, would be rolling over in their grave going, we gave you all this technology and all this knowledge. We gave you light. We gave you heat. We gave you central air. We gave you automobiles. We gave you modern medicine. We gave you all of this stuff. And this is what you've done with it. Really sickening,
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, you can't make people channel their energy in a productive way. Be nice if you could. The world would be a better place. But humans' free will to do whatever they want pretty much nixes any opportunity for significant progress in anything.
It's amazing.
I mean, I'm not seeing. You see all different topics, all different situations, and I don't see one that has improved significantly in any given way. I don't know. Skeptical me, and I could be wrong. I mean, and again, that's a matter of opinion too, but.
Well, everything is when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are facts in the world, but we see facts differently.
Well, true.
And the
you
meanings
get into this thing
different.
real quick about electric cars and that. Everybody's talking about the gas prices now. And oh my God, it's $5-6 a gallon and it's going to be 10. And they're changing the pumps now so they can add a 1 in front of it.
And as long as we're at the pump filling it up, bitching about it, they're going to keep on doing it because the key is we're filling them up.
Right. But
already checking in. Me and my mom are going to Grand Rapids Pride June 18th. It's free to get in this year. Excellent. Thanks for joining us, Harley.
Yeah, that sounds
see
like
you
fun.
Again. Yeah.
I forget
Grand
about
Rapids,
some of the other cities that have their celebrations. We have a lot going on here to get consumed in, and we just kind of forget about them.
I don't know why they need their gay pride. Big deal. Well, because you don't get beat up for being straight.
That's right.
You don't get looked at and laughed at every time you walk into the grocery store.
That's right. And if nothing else, it brings like-minded people together to, form friendships, allegiances, resources that are available, all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with having that kind of a celebration. It's a good thing.
Things that Sapphire will not do. Sapphire will not pay to get into any Pride festival. Eat my shorts. That's not what it's about.
Even if
I host the Cadillac, Michigan Pride every year. There is no requirement to perform other than bring your CD and promise that you will not disrespect yourself in the audience by doing a other than family-friendly number. That's it. You show up and you perform. And that's what Pride's about. Everybody's got this whole, we got a budget, we got this and that. No, don't charge people to get in. That's the money-making part of it. No, make it free.
Yeah, if you can't tell me where the money is going, I mean, if it's just, it's to set up the tents and stuff like that, I don't know about that. If it's a legitimate cause that is helping the very people that are going to the event, and it's a reasonable fee, a couple bucks or something, it's a contribution more than it is a cover charge or an admission. I mean, I can be okay with that. But you also have to have the option of not. So it's really not a forced.
Yeah, I don't like the whole fenced in, segregated community. Make it open. That's me, my opinion. That's it. I don't care either way, but I don't participate in the monetary Pride Month.
Right.
Celebrating it is different. We go to the Adam's Apple and we celebrate it. They don't decorate differently. They don't have special parties. They celebrate it year round in the lifestyle and treating people the way we want to be treated.
Right.
And that's something, and it's a celebration. It's different. I'm not dogging people. I'm not suggesting we boycott it. I'm 53 years old. I don't go there anymore. It's just my choice. I might go stroll through and walk through if it's free.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying $5 to go. If you're in a downtown area, you got to pay to park. Then you got to pay to get in. Then everything you can pay for in there, obviously. And it ain't about the money. It's about the value. I go, I don't need to be part of the spectacle that is, hey, happy Pride Month in June, but the rest of the month or the rest of the year, GFYS.
Yeah, you're right.
Not to say that that's the case.
Not always, but it is the case sometimes. I mean, it's
just funny. The performers, and it's any entertainment group. They have cliques of people they trust and that they like and everything like that. You go down there, you see the performers perform. There's drag shows. There's arts and entertainment. There's music. There's a whole bunch of different stuff to see. And I mean, it's not that I'm saying there's no value. I'm just not paying to get in. It's not worth it to me.
Sure.
I'm not doing it. I'm like, just make it open so everybody can see. Don't make it so it's segregated. But there's no money to be made in there. Well, and money's the key to everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with a vendor area where people want to sell their items, merchandise they've made, if they're artists and it's part of how they make their living, and they're in a place where they know people like their stuff. It's there for you to buy or not buy. It gives you some interesting things to look at, if nothing else. If you want to make money that way, you're charging the vendors money to be there or something like that. That's fine. That's part of operational costs.
Yeah.
That's part of operational costs and things like that. There's ways to do it where you don't have to charge the general public and, immediately dilute the message with the dollar bill,
Absolutely. Plenty of money to be made down there without doing it that way. But that's just my opinion. I ain't mad at people that go, you want to spend $5-10 to get in, whatever, it's fine. I'm not insinuating that people are stealing your money.
Right.
But I just personally go, no, for me, I'll go to a free one. If I go, I don't have to. I don't feel the need. Never been big into it, but I've never been big into having to be in an exclusive club to be included. It doesn't make sense.
Right, right.
You can't be exclusive if you're not excluding somebody.
Well, and it is problematic when everybody's screaming, inclusivity, diversity, and then at the same time, well, but not here.
Right. We demand to be treated equal, but we want better treatment than you. What?
That's kind of
and here's some money. Gay kids
now
always
that we're
get money.
getting there. Now that we're getting there, so now what? Now you have to conform and live up to the world that you're, striving to be more equal in. You got to be willing to do that,
The world is not fair.
Nope.
Align ourselves with what we like. Because us
Yeah.
sitting here demanding equal treatment, you can't demand it. You can expect it. But if you don't get it, you have to move on. You can't force people to like you. You can't force people to treat you the way you want to be treated, but you can remove yourself from that situation and not allow it.
And you can present yourself in a way where you are more likable and desirable. The minute somebody says the word demand to me, I've told you this before, I immediately, that flips my switch like just about no other, and I turn my back and walk away. You can demand all your damn life, and, I don't care. Now, you want something? Let's figure out how to get it, and let's be civilized about it. When you run around like you're owed something.
That's the new thing, though. It's almost like we got to try to bully our way into getting what we want when we don't like bullying.
Right.
But it's like, but if you don't like bullying, then why are we driving like bullies? Why are we in stores like bullies? I'm walking through an area. I've got the right of way. I mean, there's no street signs or nothing, but I'm walking through a door. Somebody comes walking from across, walk right in front of me. I had to stop her, walk right into her. I looked at her and shook my head, and she looked at me like, what? And I'm like, we're walking on the main path through the doorway. You're walking from the side where nobody's supposed to even be, and you just walk right into me. Are you high or stupid?
Yes and yes.
Just like, but that's society. She didn't even get it. Like, people driving down the road, they cut in front of you, they don't even get it. They're like, wait, you're not supposed to do that. Just because there's 8 feet there doesn't mean you can put your fucking 7-foot car in there.
Yep.
But people go, well, no, I wasn't putting on my turn signal to let you know I'm getting over, or to ask, I'm telling you. Well, there's certain rules to the road you got to follow.
Right.
People don't care. So you go, well, if that's the way you drive, what do you just put your wiener in any old hole, or you go for the right one? What do? You just put it where you want, or do you use their,
Well, and even if you are going to be a jerk driver, yeah, please use your turn signals. And, at least give us a heads up that you're going to be a jerk, so that neither one of us has to go get our car fixed. That helps you as much as it does us. Thank you very much. What you finding over there? I see you cracking a smile. Sapphire's looking at porn again.
This is can you see this or no?
No, I can just see you seeing what you're seeing and getting a good grin out of it.
Yeah. It's a Brave New Army commercial promoting inclusion and diversity. Stu sent it to me.
Ah, okay. Well, if
Gender
Stu sent it, it's
revealed
got to be good.
grenades. Obviously a spoof about the overdoing it of all of this. And I'll be honest with you, I know for a living proof, in a war zone, nobody cares if you're a pole smoker, if you're whatever. They don't care. They just want safety. They want
in that moment. It doesn't matter what's in your pants, and you don't have time to play with it anyway. So
Right. Yeah. Get me out of here. We're in this together until we're out of here.
right.
Changes everything. But it's the same thing though. People look at me and they're like, "What the?" And then after they talk to me for a minute, they're like, "Well, like you don't sound crazy."
You're normal.
I'm like, "Well, I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not crazy.
Right.
Like, what were you expecting?" But it's a stereotype.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
All right, break time. We're going to a couple songs for you. When we get back, we're getting down to it. We're going to finalize the conversation about these relationship issues and my take on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. What actually comes out of that? Johnny Depp wins. Does he? There's no winner in it, but that's my opinion. All right, keep it locked. We got 3 songs, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Payday. All right, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3 songs. We come back at 1, 2. Wait, oh, not that one. 1, 2, 3. Not that one. We come back at 9:35.
9:35. Got it.
All right. Be back at 9:35. Here we go. All right, we are back. It is our final hurrah. Let's see here if I can get my headphones plugged back in because I just disconnected myself again. Now, one of these things don't work right. All right. We got the music playing. We got Bob here. We got everything going on. Figuring out all the relationship problems in the world. It ties in together. We can't keep our relationships right. 50% of American marriages end in divorce. We jump from people to people. You question love, right? The old saying goes, you know who was in love and you know who was ready to move on in a relationship when someone gets in a relationship and the other person's still brokenhearted. So we're talking about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson and Kanye. Kim in October looking for some love from Pete. Falls for him. You can't. It's we call things love, and this is a woman who was married to a man for years, has kids with them, and have built a life, and you could just easily go to another person. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show you we misconstrue lust and love. You can't love somebody and then just go to somebody else and love them too. It's lust. We mistake hurt and pain for rage and anger. It's another issue. It's part of the reason we don't have good relationships. We don't deal well with problems. We don't deal well with conflict. We don't deal well with uncomfortability.
Correct on all counts, yes.
Yeah, and if you can't keep a relationship together that's more important than anything really, then how are you going to keep everything else together? And
yeah, it does start with oneself before you can really, once you start to involve other people in your relationship life, and then if you don't have a good handle on what your needs are, what you can offer, then yeah, it's really, it's setting up for a bad situation. I mean, and unfortunately, when we're young, we don't know that when we're young in our, in our 20s, that are starting our dating lives and all that. It doesn't make sense. We have to learn the hard way along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Education, experience, two of the best teachers, right? Mm-hmm. But we need to be able to figure it out at a younger age, and we're not being given the tools. Mm-hmm. We get belittled and disrespected, so we reach out in anger. For instance, someone cuts you off in the road, flips you off, then you chase them down, flip them off, and it ends up in gunfire.
Right.
And we're standing in line for a damn chicken sandwich, and we get stabbed. Everything escalates into violence. And we blame the gun, but we never blame the knife, right? But why are we surprised when we blame Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein for all the trafficking, but we don't convict anybody or even charge them with the actual committing the crime?
Right. No, you're right. You're totally right.
The guns, we've got 18-year-old men running around killing a bunch of people because they're angry.
Right.
It's just like you don't even have enough years to be pissed yet.
Well, it comes back. Yeah, I'm entitled. I'm owed somehow. I've been wronged by the system. We've all been wronged by the system in one way or another. I mean, you're not entitled. You're not necessarily owed.
When Donald Trump said grab him by the pussy, people went nuts.
Right.
But when Amber Heard comes out and says Johnny Depp did this, we go, well, we like Johnny Depp, though. He's a good-looking guy. He's in my favorite movies. He's Captain Jack Sparrow, man. He can't be the one. Okay. So we're not believing every accuser. I don't know if you heard earlier, but there's a big difference between an accuser and a victim.
Oh, 100%.
We lost track of that during a couple years ago, right? We believed the accuser then. Now we believe only the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know whether Amber Heard lied on the stand or not. Neither do you. Neither does anybody other than them.
Right.
And they probably don't remember very well either with all the drugs and drinking they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure their recollection of their life is a little blurry and fuzzy. Could you imagine having lived so far up until now the life of Johnny Depp and some of it's a blur?
Well, I can certainly understand it being a blur.
But why would you want to be so inebriated that you got the life of Johnny frickin' Depp, man. Right? You're the star of all stars, making what was the biggest movie for the Memorial Day weekend until Top Gun 2 or whatever they call it come out.
Right. Well, I don't know. Isn't it fun to get high? Isn't it fun to...
Oh, yeah, we love it. I mean,
buzzed?
We talk about that all the time. It's part of our lives.
Right.
But
it's part of the culture.
Are we altering it to forget about things, or are we just enjoying it after a hard day's work and I deserve a little bit of relaxation? But when you're getting so drunk you can't remember things, you go, but that's like, we dream for that life. Unlimited money. There's not a thing on earth that Johnny Depp could want that he can't buy.
Right.
We can't say the same.
Nope.
So you have what seems to be everything. You're famous. Everywhere you go, people love you. You've got money coming out of your ears. All the women want your Johnson. Hell, half the men want it. So why the dysfunction? Well, it's really simple, Bob. We the people, we tuned in en masse to that.
Right.
Those cameras would have shut off and gone to find another story if we weren't tuned in to that trial.
Yeah, you're right.
What about the relationship dysfunction? What about the public's fascination with the dysfunction? The picking a side, having to pick a side.
Well, it makes everybody feel. I think a lot of people feel that it's one. It takes them out of their own difficult situation for the time being and lets them focus on someone else.
Right. There's a train wreck over there worse than ours.
Yeah. And everybody somehow feels the need to be involved in other people's business. Like they can help fix it, or they can understand. I want to support them, or, it's like most of the time, mind your own business. It's, and if everyone did, it wouldn't be a huge story, and then we'd be on to something else.
Exactly. And for me, I go, let's look at this. We don't know what to do about all the violence in our country. We're sitting here going, what can we do? Well, we keep on blaming the gun. But let's look at what we have going on. Let's look at all the underlying things that make us who we are as an American person. And every direction we're looking, we're fighting now, right? And we're fighting for equality. And then we're saying, wait a minute, if they want this, we're arguing, we're dividing, we're, again, being an exclusive club. You can only be exclusive when you exclude people.
Right.
So the whole concept of this is whack. And the mentality of, I'm going to get mine, there is a level of selfishness involved in living a good life. You've got to take care of number one first. You're number one.
Right.
But in taking care of other people, that helps nurture yourself. We're losing that.
Right. Well, you have to take care of number one enough to be self-functioning enough to help others. If you can't take care of yourself, if you get so much going on and you can't handle it and you're having social issues of your own, then you very well can't help somebody else unless you get into a structured situation that is also helping you. Then you might. But yeah, I mean, it does take a certain level. Like you said, it's selfishness or self-care. Self-care seems to be the latest phrase. And I don't even think there's anything wrong with that, recognizing that you do need to
absolutely
get your own business in order before you start messing in others.
But we misguide lust for love. That's one of the biggest problems we start with. Then if we can't maintain good friendships, if we can't maintain good work relationships, if we can't problem solve, it points to poor social skills. Well, if we're not being socialized at a young age, we're not being able to understand how the world really works.
Right.
The world is not your friend. The world is not fair. Life is not fair. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. There are certain things you can change, but life is not fair. You're dying right now. We don't get out alive. You're dying. That's as much as you exercise as you do, you're dying. As healthy as you eat, you're dying. How much money as you got, you're dying.
That's right.
So why are we surprised that we can't handle all these things? The guy in Tulsa, Oklahoma went and shot the doctor because the doctor did not fix him from his back pain. Back pain is the number one difficult thing to diagnose and fix. Everything in your body is attached to your back.
Sure.
We've never had that before, but we've always had a lot of guns. But now we're using them in a different way. Well, look no further than how we deal with people.
Right.
No
it comes back to, like you said, poor social skills. If you aren't able to have a conversation and dialogue with other people to solve problems, and you feel like the only way you can fix the problem and you're going to fix it because you're number one and you're going to do it with a gun, that comes back to, had you had the social skills and the socialization, you could have probably come to terms with other people beyond having to go to the violence,
And another key factor, when you break up in a relationship, whether it be romantic or a friendship that has not even gone south, just soured, over time, you kind of go your separate ways. Nothing happened. It's just, hey, kind of lost contact. How you been? Whatever. We got to learn how to deal with those things better, with rejection, right? If you truly love somebody, you cannot possibly murder them in their sleep.
No.
It doesn't happen. You cannot love somebody and kill them because they divorced you. You never loved them. Right. You think you did. You didn't know what love is. And you can't. We don't understand that, though. Love and lust are so similar, like love and hate. That's why people love each other, and then the switch is flipped, and they go from sleeping with them to killing them in their sleep. We don't understand the emotion. It leads all the way up to people killing each other over jealousy, school shootings. We talked the other day about the guy who was going to be a school shooter and never did it.
Right.
And he could have very easily been a statistic. Now his kids wouldn't be here.
Well, in that case, it's easy to define love and lust, at least, for another human being. There was no lust involved there. It was about one person helping another person. Love takes in so much more overall experience than lust. I mean, we really shouldn't have that hard it shouldn't be that hard to define it. And I think, again, it comes back to an acceptance thing and what's socially acceptable to say and what's taboo. And, you can't walk around saying, well, hey, it's great to see you. I lust you,
Be like, oh my God, I love you so much. Oh, well, yeah, I lust you pretty hard, but yeah.
I mean, at least then you're saying it for what it is. It's like, you may never have met the person. You don't know them, but you wouldn't mind a piece of that. And so it's like,
That's it. Yeah. Love will get you there faster than, I don't love you, but I'd sure like to get in your pants. That's a tough one to sell.
Right.
And then if she says yes, or if he says yes, it makes you question whether that's relationship material.
Right. But see, love is on so many different levels too. There's love for your family. There's love for kids. There's love for...
Depending on what state you're in, there's love for your family.
Well, yeah. and lust, I guess, because lust triggers it. Yeah. Anyway,
It's true,
it
though,
is
but-
different. It should be more definable, and lust is immediate gratification, and love is long term. I guess is
Yeah. Lust is sexual. Love is I want what's best for this person,
Right.
even if I'm not what's best for this person. As much as it might hurt,
Right.
you don't turn your hurt into rage and go abuse this person, even verbally. You know, you've seen that before, especially when we're younger. You know, if somebody breaks up with you and all of a sudden, you bitch and you this. Wait a minute, you were just brokenhearted, but now I'm this, that, and the other.
Right.
You can't go from love to hate. You can't.
No.
You know. But,
Right. Love was never there. If like you said, if you can spring that easily,
it was never there. If you can go from one person in a rebound relationship to the next, you got to wonder who was ready for the relationship to end. You know, and
well, there are divorced people that can still love their ex as a human person, as a friend, as not to be mean or harsh or anything to them, because if you loved them enough to marry them, then you really can't hate them unless they've done something evil.
but you still don't hate them. You hate what they did, and you go, "I can't be with you. You cheated." Let's say they cheated with your best friend.
Right.
You go, "I can't be with you. You betrayed me in the worst way. Now I've lost my friend and my best friend. But I still want you to go find whatever it is that's going to make you happy, and maybe you won't be that piece of crap for the next person."
Right.
But to sit there and go, "Now I hate you," yeah, it's probably an emotion that you don't know how to handle.
It's
Called
anger in the
heartbreak.
moment. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. Do you have a word of the day before we get out of here?
I do have a word of the day. Let's see what we got going on here. We got a variety pack as usual. Ew, I don't like that one.
Uh-oh, that's not a good sign right there.
Ew, that just sounds nasty.
Oh, I love it.
I don't think we did this one. I saw this one the other day. Ichthyology.
Ipsyology?
Ichthyology. ICHTHY ology.
Oh.
Ichthyology. Maybe it's ichthyology, but I think it's ichthyology. It's the study of fish.
Oh. Fish
You have
as
an
in
aquarium
like
at home?
water critters?
Yeah, the underwater critters. Study of fish.
That'd be it.
It does come from, I mean, if you're an aquarium person and you've kept fish, or ick is a kind of a fungus that fish can get, and they have medicine for it, but they actually call it ick. ICH.
I've heard of that.
And it's part of this ichthyology, study of fish.
Okay. Ichthyologist. Sounds kinky and sounds
Well, a little
fun.
bit. But see, there's a bunch of them here that without knowing what they are, they just go down the highway all kinds of ways. There's penicillate. That speaks for itself. Homomerous.
Uh-oh.
Succaria.
Sounds like a word I might use.
Yeah, I mean, today's list is just full of ick.
Nice. I've heard of ick before. Ichologist. I'm not a. Are you an ichologist? You smell like fish.
Well, if you were going to go to the store and buy some tropical fish for your aquarium, you don't want to buy them if they have white little fluffy things on them, because that's known as ick. Or not, that's the fungus. The white dots are ick.
Yeah, you got
It's
white
like
pimples on your fish is no good.
Yeah, it's kind of like measles.
All right, that's about it for us for the day. Let's get this thing rolling here.
Let's do this thing called a weekend.
Yeah, Friday. It's playoff weekend for me. I'll be busy today and tomorrow.
Wowie zowie.
Yeah, got to make that money, honey. I love it.
That's right.
All right, that does it for us for the day. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, wherever you were listening today. We appreciate it. And remember, we had to get the music up a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. That's the birthday song. Happy birthday if you're celebrating your birthday today. Remember, opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking. And loyalty is not a word, it's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. And we heard it the other day. Aaron Stark talked about it. He was going to be a school shooter. And one kind gesture from an unknowing friend changed not only his life, but a lot of lives. In a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea. Good morning, Dee. We have no idea what a kind word or a friendly smile can do to impact someone's day, maybe even change their life forever. We need it more than ever now. Until Monday morning, I'm Sapphire Pates.
I'm just Bob.
We're out of here. Have a good day. Bye-bye. That's that. We squealed out of there.
There we go.
Now, I'm going to wait a minute to shut everything down, but I haven't heard nobody, and I haven't seen any of the DJs coming in here doing the show.
Huh.
So I don't know what the deal. I'm like, why? I don't understand what the deal is, because what more could you want? This is a pretty sweet place.
Right. Right.
I don't know if it's location, but I'm thinking I drive 45 minutes to get here to do the show live. Not sure why they can't.
Right.
But never know what's going on.
True.
But, all righty, I'm out of here. I got to get to work. Got to go to work at Meyer and then get out of there, go right to Pontiac, Notre Dame Prep.
Yep. Trying to put the finishing touches on the yard work for at least the cosmetics for the season. There's all kinds of work.
Oh, yeah.
Then I get to go work at the store tonight. The store was without power for 24 hours. And so yesterday we had all sorts of gross, disgusting things to do, like hauling melted ice cream out of the coolers and wiping them down in the dark because the power was off. You know?
Yeah. Yum. Gotta like
Yeehaw.
it. Yeah. All righty, I'm going to scram, Bob.
All right. Well, you have a good weekend.
You as well, too.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Catch up.
Oh, wait, we got to end the broadcast.
Oh.
Thanks for watching. Bye.